Hello and welcome back to the Book of Jenna. I am your host, Jenna, and today I am so excited because this is episode 2. And while it's kind of taken me a while to record this episode, I've really been sitting on what do I want my audience to know? What do I want you guys to know and feel when you leave this podcast? And today, I really want to talk about, playing it small, right? We're all guilty of it. I don't care who you are definitely guilty of at one point in your life playing small. And I know for me that I have always shrank myself to fit into other people's boxes or what I believe other people expect or want out of me. That's probably due to some trauma in my life, right? Where I felt like I never belonged. I've always felt bigger than the space I've been provided for. I also feel like when you are in toxic relationships or you're in toxic family situations, we shrink ourselves so that the eggshells that we're walking on aren't smashed and we're not at fault, right? I feel as though we tend to anticipate other people's feelings. And are we going to hurt them? Or how are our actions going to dictate their mood? I guess is really what I'm trying to say here. And I feel as though a lot of us do it. I watch it almost every day. I watch people in situations in their lives where they have played it small because they're afraid of maybe it's success, or they're afraid of someone being upset with them if they win, if they do something for themselves, right? And I'm very guilty of this. It's something that even to this day, I still work on because I'm ever evolving and I'm always trying to learn ways to be better. I don't have it all figured out. So if you think that you're going to listen to this podcast and you're going to listen to somebody who has life all figured out, I'm sorry, I don't. And I'm learning as I go, and I feel as though we all are, right? I feel like the 80-year-old woman, she doesn't have it all figured out either. You know, she's just lived through more experience, so she has more information than us. She has more figured out than us, but she doesn't have it all figured out. So today, I just want to focus on not taking up space, right? I want to focus on you and me being able to sit in rooms where we're bigger than our audience, right? Where we're bigger than the people sitting next to us. Not that they're small, not that they're insignificant, right? But just sitting in a space where we take up the space we need so we can be the people we want to be. I watch it a lot as a hairstylist. I see people taking the labels that society has given hairstylists, right? Or that your educator told you. It could be that, when you're first starting out, you're never going to make it unless you go into a salon. You'd never be able to do it as an individual in a suite when you just start out. And while, yes, it may be more difficult, it's not impossible. And I feel like because we allow people to tell us what we are capable of, and then we believe them, right? We say, oh yeah, you're right. I'd never be able to do that. Well, why the fuck not? Why can't you do that? Why can't you go out on your own right after school? Do you believe in yourself? Do you believe you're capable of it? Do you believe you'd have everything, all your ducks lined up in a row so that you would actually be able to prosper here? And the answer is yes, absolutely you can do it. Will it be harder? Yes. Does that mean anything? No. We are so conditioned to take the easy way. We're so conditioned that so-and-so's path must be our path too, right? And I don't consent. I don't believe it, and I don't believe you should either. And it goes in every aspect of life. We are told by others what we can and what we can't do. And then we put our weight in that. We put our worth in what someone just said that we are capable of or not. And quite frankly, the only person that decides whether you're capable or not is you. Period. Whatever you decide is true. Whatever it is. Because all truths are half truths. Half of that is true, yes, but the other half of that is you could defy everybody. And you could do what people say you couldn't. But because we live in such a world where labels are so important, right? Man, we all have to have a label. And if you don't have that label, well, then who are you? And I am the type of person that I guess if I have labels, I've got a lot of them because I can do a lot of things. And I'm good at a lot of things because I believe I can do anything. I can do anything, no matter what it is. If I decide, that's what's true. And the same goes for you. What you decide, that's true. Whatever it is, I believe you. And that's the sad thing, right? Because we often shrink ourselves to fit in someone else's box of who they think we are. And I have to tell you, if you're doing that, you're doing yourself a complete and utter disservice because your box is yours. And quite frankly, okay, I hate using the word box because I don't believe in boxes. I just don't. Why? It's so limiting. So I really probably ought to work on changing that word because boxes are silly. Stand on the damn box. Get out of the box. Think outside of the box. Because when you start thinking outside of the box, your creativity starts flowing. And when your creativity starts flowing, anything's possible. And that's what my hope for you, my hope for honestly anyone in life is that you are capable of getting outside of the box and you see all the possibilities of life. Because the possibilities that you've been given are probably limiting. They're probably telling you that you have to fit in this box. Society says, right? Society says. We go to college because they say it's how you'll be successful. But I know a ton of smart people who never went to college, who are incredibly successful, living their best life, not working for anyone and not working a 9-to-5. Because they didn't see limiting beliefs. They didn't allow other people to tell them who they are. They didn't allow those spaces where they felt uncomfortable by being loud or being too big, right? Or being too much. How many times in your life have you been told, well, you're just too much? Yeah, me too. Oh, fucking well. Oh, fucking well. I guess I'm just going to be too damn much. And you're going to have to get over it. Because if you continue to shrink yourself to fit into those spaces, you're the only one that suffers. Truth. The people that have conditioned you to believe that, oh, well, you can't do. Anyone that tells you you can't should do, they are not your friend. They are not your friend. I believe anyone, no matter who you are, no matter where you're from, no matter what you look like, you can do anything you want. You just have to decide. And that's the power, right? Once you decide, once you say, you know what? No, I can do this. What happens? You do it. You do it. You do it well. You succeed at it. But when you allow other people to come into your life and tell you who you are and what you can do, girl, you've given all your power away. You've given people power over you. And I know this because I've done this. I've allowed people to have power over me who decided what I can and can't do, and I believed them. Why? Because I thought they loved me. because I thought they had my best interest at heart. But really, they didn't. They just didn't. And that's the part where we have to stop consenting to other people's beliefs of us. No one will see you for what you're worth besides you. And if you don't see your worth right now, we need to work on that. You need to dig deep, because I promise you, I don't care who you are. I don't care what you've done. I don't care where you come from. You're worth it. You're worth success. You're worth taking up space. You're worth being bigger than people want you to be, because you are powerful and you are capable, and you will do amazing things if you allow yourself to. If you stop believing what others say about you. If you stop shrinking yourself to fit in this box society says you belong in. I'm sorry, I don't care. You don't belong in it. You are not a box. You are not limiting. You are unlimited. I don't know if you guys have seen Wicked, but I'm telling you, Elphaba is onto something, you guys. She saw her power, she saw her potential, and she saw things for what they were. And then she said, no, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do what I want. And you guys watch me. I'm going to be okay. It's all going to work out. And that's how I think we need to approach life, right? Are there going to be hardships? Absolutely. Are there going to be things that rock your world? For sure. Are you going to encounter some things that are going to make you ask, how the fuck am I going to get through this? Absolutely. Yes, 1,000%, 100% you are. But the beautiful thing about it is that we know everyone has faced hardships. Everyone. I don't care who you are. I don't care what demographic you come from. I don't care how much money you have. You have faced a hardship that challenged you, that made you say, I can't do this. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get through this. And then what happens? You figure it out. You get through it. You create some crazy things because you had to think outside of the box to get there, right? But you do it. And you do it well. And even if it doesn't feel like you're doing it well, right? Because you're probably sitting here saying, Jenna, this is not, no, I'm never going to get through this. And I didn't do it well. Well, me either, okay? There are a lot of things that if I could change, I would. But I also wouldn't. Because without those things, I wouldn't be the person I am today. Without those opportunities to feel really uncomfortable and to make mistakes, right? Because I've made a shit ton of mistakes. I make mistakes every day, you guys. That's life. That's life. Nothing is perfect. If it was, we wouldn't need self-help. We wouldn't need therapists. We wouldn't need life coaches. We wouldn't need doctors. We wouldn't need anything. Oops. Because it would be perfect. And it's not. So know that in this journey, you're going to fuck up. You're going to fuck up. You're going to make mistakes. And a lot of that is because of old programming, right? You decide things off of your beliefs or things that you've been told. You know, sometimes we don't always get the truth from, maybe it's our partners, maybe it's our boss, our parents, whatever it is. You don't always get it. You never get the full truth, right? They're all half-truths. And so I think when it comes to limiting your beliefs, you really do yourself a disservice. Do things, make mistakes, fail, fuck up, bounce back, apologize, learn. And once you do that, life gets easier. You you get better at failing, right? And then all of a sudden, you no longer have this limiting belief because you've proven to yourself that you can do anything even if you fail. And then you say, okay, well, if I can do anything, even if I fail, sky's the limit, right? Because eventually, even if you're failing, you're still winning because you never quit. And I think that's important. I think it's important for us as women to know that we can wear a bunch of different hats, right? And we can love on our children or our spouses or partners or whatever, whoever you have in your life that loves you, you can love them and not limit them. Because once you start believing that you're limitless, it's infectious. Everyone else around you, they get it, and they're limitless too, because you are limitless. And so as you become this limitless person who doesn't fit herself in a box, so do your friends, because you inspire people. And that's the journey, right? That's the journey, is to go through all this crap and use it for good. That's my journey. You know, I've been through a lot, and I talk a lot about my ex-husband, but you know, it was it's really crazy, guys. And I believed a lot of what he said about my worth. You know, you'll never find anyone as good as me. You'll never find anyone who will love you as much as me. You'll never find blah, 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 blah. You know what? I don't even remember half the shit he said, but it was very limiting. And I made a lot of mistakes in that relationship. A lot. I was young. I didn't know love. I didn't even really know what love was. I couldn't even love myself in that relationship because I didn't know what it meant to love yourself. I didn't even know what that looked like because I didn't have people in my life that loved themselves or thought highly of themselves or anyone else. And so the biggest part of this is learning to love yourself so that you can become limitless, so that you can become who you want to be. But you have to love yourself, even your mistakes, even the things you regret, because that's truly how you become limitless. And it's not an easy journey. It's really not. You figure your whole life you've been programmed to think one way, right? And if you're like me and you're pushing, well, I am 40, but if you're pushing 40 or if you're over 40 and you've spent the last 30 years not loving yourself and talking poorly to yourself in your head, you're also a culprit of your limiting beliefs and your limiting behavior. It takes years. It can take years. I shouldn't say it takes years because time is an illusion, right? Like someone could just decide today, I love myself and I'm going to act like it from now on, and they could do it. For me, it wasn't that easy. For me, it took a lot of reprogramming the old programs I had, and it took a lot of, just countering negative thoughts with truths, or at least what I wanted to be truth, right? So when I would say I'm not good enough, oh, Jenna, you're just not good enough. Oh, Jenna, you're such an idiot. Oh, Jenna, what the fuck, right? You've all said it, maybe not with Jenna, but whatever your name is, you've said it. And I think a big part of rewriting your limiting beliefs is saying, Jenna, you're a badass. You see everything you've been through and you're still good. Jenna, you're not an idiot. Man, you are so smart and you are so creative and you can do anything. And Jenna, holy fuck, you're so awesome, right? challenge those thoughts that come into your brain today. Because I promise you, when you start doing that, the limitations come off. I would never have started this podcast 5 years ago. I wouldn't have done it. No, I would have been afraid of what people thought of me. I would have been afraid of it not being perfect. And as you can see, this is not perfect. I didn't write a script. I'm talking to you guys from the top of my head. Whatever comes out, whatever the universe wants me to say, that's what I say. And it's not perfect. And some people may say, oh my God, I hate this. This is the worst podcast ever. And that's fine. Great. I love that. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you. Because I know that what I have to tell you guys is really important and it's really impactful. And I think that the more I share, the more confident I get. The more I talk to people, even in the hair world, right? The more I talk to my clients, the more that I share my story, the more people say things like, man, you really need to write a book. You really need to get a podcast. You really need to share this with more people. So here I am. I'm doing it imperfectly. I'm going to mess up. I'm going to make mistakes. People aren't going to like me. But you know what? Here's the fact. People are never going to like you fully because they don't like themselves. Sorry. I'm sorry, you guys. And I know this because I've been this, right? I know people don't like themselves because I haven't liked myself before. And I know you can feel that. You may feel it right now. You may be like, Jenna, I really hate who I am. Okay, fucking change. Change. Trees do. They lose their leaves. Plants do. They go dormant in the winter. Fucking change. Go dormant in the winter. Work on yourself. Go inward. Come out in the spring renewed as a fresh person. You are in control. Nothing else dictates your circumstances but you and your mind. So change it. Learn to love yourself because you're pretty fucking cool. And you've been through all the shit you've been through and you're still you. That's badass, man. That's badass. Because we all know that you could have done something completely different and you could have gone down a completely different road because we've watched people that have gone through the stuff that you've gone through go down those roads. And we all think, what the fuck, Susie? Shit, come back, right? So be proud of everything you've went through because you did your best with the best information you had at the time. And that is the reality of it. Forgive yourself. Become limitless. Become the best version of you so that you love yourself. Because it's not about anybody else. I don't give a shit if you like me. Don't. Kick rocks, bro. I'll see you later. Much love, right? Like, I wish you well, but it's cool. And guess what? I don't like everybody. If I feel like you're toxic, if I feel like you have a lot going on that is just not vibing with me, I'm going to say, you know what? I wish you well, have a beautiful life, but you're not for me, and that's okay. Not everyone is. You're not for everyone, and everyone's not for you, and that's a gift. So I am going to wrap this up because 20 minutes of me rambling about you becoming limitless is probably enough for today, right? Small chunks. And that's what I want. I just want you to be able to get a little bit of information so that you can start making small shifts. Because that's really where the power comes. It's not going to be revolutionary right away. Because a lot of us are going to take a little bit of time to get through this old programming. So the small shift today is talk kindly to yourself. When you have that negative thought about yourself, I want you to challenge it. Who said it? Who decided that's what it is? Who told you your worth? Because if you're getting it from someone else, you're wrong. It comes from within. It comes from deciding. I don't consent to those labels anymore. I don't consent to your box anymore. I don't consent to someone else deciding my destiny. It's me. I'm going to take care of it. I'm going to make it work, and I am going to win. And so are you. I believe it. I believe it in my soul, and I can see it for you. Be kind to yourself. Love who you are. Forgive the person you were. She did her best. She didn't have all the information. If she had, you would have made better choices. You would have made different choices. But you didn't. You knew what you knew, and that was it. My friends, I hope you have a beautiful day. I hope that you are capable and able to shift some negative self-talk into a more positive space for yourself. I hope that you are analyzing the people that are around you and you are not allowing their words and their black magic and their venom to spew into your thoughts. Protect your peace, protect your heart, and you will win, I promise. Much love, my beautiful humans.